The unexpected call. In the year 2025, Earth was a place filled with technology and hope. Humans had made great strides in space exploration. Cities sparkled with lights, and people dreamed of the stars. But on this day, a different kind of dream was about to take shape. In a large conference room at the United Nations, world leaders gathered for an emergency meeting. The room buzzed with tension as scientists from all over the globe shared alarming news. They had detected strange signals coming from a distant planet. The signals were unlike anything they had encountered before. Alex, a young scientist with bright eyes and a head full of ideas, sat at the back of the room. He had always been fascinated by space and the unknown. His heart raced as he listened to the discussions. While others focused on the dangers of the signals, Alex felt an idea brewing in his mind. What if we don't just listen? What if we go there? He thought. As the leaders debated the risks, Alex finally raised his hand. The room fell silent, and all eyes turned to him. I believe we should investigate the source of the signals, he said, his voice steady but excited. Instead of waiting for something to happen, we should take action. We can send a team to the planet. The leaders exchanged glances, their expressions a mix of surprise and skepticism. One of the senior officials, a stern man named General Harris, frowned. Are you suggesting we invade an unknown world? That's madness. We don't even know what we're dealing with. But that's exactly why we should go. Alex replied, feeling the surge of courage. We can learn more about these beings. They might not be hostile at all. Imagine if we can make contact and learn from them. The room erupted in a flurry of conversation. Some leaders nodded in agreement, while others shook their heads in disbelief. Alex could see the potential in his idea, and he was determined to convince them. A woman from the scientific community, Dr. Maria Chen, stepped forward. Alex has a point, she said. We need to understand what we're up against. The signals could be a cry for help or a warning. We should explore the possibility of a peaceful contact. General Harris crossed his arms, still doubtful. And what if they are hostile? What if we walk into a trap? That's a risk we take in exploration, Dr. Chen replied. Every journey into the unknown comes with risks. But if we do nothing, we will never know what could be. After a lengthy discussion, the leaders decided to take a vote. The majority supported the idea of sending a team to investigate the planet. It was a surprising outcome, and Alex felt a rush of excitement. He had sparked a change in the minds of the leaders, and now humanity was ready to take a bold step. Over the next few days, the preparations began. Alex was chosen to lead the team. It was an incredible honor, but also a heavy responsibility. He quickly assembled a diverse group of experts, each with their own skills and backgrounds. Among them were engineers, linguists, and strategists, all eager to embark on this journey. As they gathered for their first meeting, Alex looked around the table. We are about to do something incredible, he said, his voice filled with determination. We are not just going to explore, we are going to make contact. This could change everything for humanity. The team shared their ideas and experiences, building a plan together. They discussed the technology they would need and how to communicate with the aliens if they found them. Laughter and excitement filled the room as they brainstormed different scenarios. Some team members even joked about the possibility of meeting green-skinned aliens or strange creatures. However, not everyone was optimistic. A few military officials remained wary, questioning the wisdom of their mission. They worried about the potential dangers and the unknowns ahead. But Alex remained focused on the possibilities. He believed in humanity's ability to adapt and succeed. As the days passed, the team trained hard. They practiced combat techniques and studied alien cultures, preparing themselves for whatever lay ahead. Each member of the team grew closer, united by a common goal. They shared stories and dreams, fostering a sense of camaraderie that would be essential for the challenges they would face. Finally, the day arrived for their launch. The ship, named the Voyager, stood ready on the launch pad. gleaming under the sun. Alex felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. He had worked so hard to reach this moment, and now it was time to take action. As they boarded the ship, Alex turned to his team. "This is our chance to show the world what humanity is capable of," he said. "Let's make history together." The crew cheered, their spirits high. With a final countdown, the Voyager lifted off the ground, soaring into the sky. As they left Earth behind, Alex glanced out of the window, feeling a sense of hope. The unknown awaited them, and he was ready to face it head-on. Humanity was taking its first bold step into the stars, and nothing could hold them back now. Into the unknown. As the Voyager hurtled through space, the crew felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. The ship's interior was alive with chatter as the team prepared for their mission. Alex, standing at the front of the control room, gazed at the vast expanse of stars outside the window. This was what he had dreamed of since childhood, an adventure beyond imagination. The journey to the planet would take several days, and the crew had a lot to do during that time. Each member was assigned specific tasks to ensure everything ran smoothly. Engineers checked the ship's systems, while scientists studied the signals they had received. Alex encouraged everyone to share their findings, creating an atmosphere of collaboration and camaraderie. As the days passed, they settled into a routine. Every morning, they gathered for briefings where they discussed their progress and shared ideas. The tension that once filled the air began to dissolve, replaced by laughter and hope. The crew members quickly bonded, becoming more like a family than just a team of explorers. One evening, while reviewing data in the lab, Alex noticed Mia, a linguist, sitting alone, staring at a screen. She had been quiet lately, and he could sense something was bothering her. He approached her desk and asked, "Hey, Mia, is everything okay?" She looked up, her eyes filled with concern. "I'm just worried about how we will communicate with the aliens," she admitted. "What if they don't understand us? What if we can't communicate at all?" Alex nodded, understanding her fears. "That's a valid concern, but we've prepared as much as we can. We have visual aids, sounds, and even basic phrases ready. If they are intelligent beings, I believe we'll find a way to connect." Mia smiled faintly, her confidence slowly returning. "I hope you're right. I just really want this to work." The next day, as they neared their destination, excitement filled the ship. The planet, named Silara, loomed large on their screens. It was a vibrant world, with swirling colors of blue and green, dotted with clouds that sparkled like diamonds in the sunlight. Alex's heart raced as he realized they were moments away from landing. "Prepare for descent," he called out, his voice steady yet full of anticipation. The crew sprang into action, securing themselves and making final adjustments to the ship. As they descended through the atmosphere, the ship shook slightly, and everyone felt the thrill of what lay ahead. The Voyager landed softly on the surface of Silara, its engines humming softly as it settled into the lush greenery. The crew cheered, their excitement palpable. Alex turned to them, his face glowing with enthusiasm. "We did it. Now let's go and explore." They gathered their equipment, donned their helmets, and stepped out of the ship. The air was fresh, filled with a sweet fragrance that was unlike anything they had ever experienced. Brightly colored plants surrounded them, waving gently in the breeze. It felt magical, as if they had stepped into another world. As they moved away from the ship, Alex led the way, keeping his eyes peeled for signs of life. The landscape was breathtaking, with rolling hills and strange rock formations that shimmered under the sun. Birds, larger than any they had seen on Earth, soared above, their vibrant plumage creating a beautiful spectacle. After walking for a while, they reached a clearing. In the center stood a massive tree, unlike any they had ever seen. Its trunk was wide and twisted, and its branches reached high into the sky, filled with glowing fruits. The sight left them in awe. "Look at that tree," shouted one of the engineers, pointing excitedly. I wonder what those glowing fruits are like. Let's be cautious, Alex warned, remembering their training. We don't know if it's safe to touch anything yet. Let's collect samples and analyze them back at the ship. As they examined the surroundings, Mia suddenly stopped. Wait, do you hear that? She asked, her expression shifting from excitement to focus. The crew fell silent, straining their ears. A distant sound echoed through the trees, like a rhythmic beating. It was unlike anything they had heard before. Let's check it out, Alex suggested, feeling a rush of adrenaline. They carefully moved towards the source of the sound, excitement coursing through their veins. As they approached, the noise grew louder, and soon they emerged into another clearing. Before them was a breathtaking sight. A group of alien beings gathered around a large structure. The aliens were tall, with smooth skin that glimmered in shades of blue and green. They appeared to be performing a ritual, their movements graceful and fluid. Alex and his team watched in awe, realizing they had stumbled upon something extraordinary. The aliens noticed them, their eyes wide with curiosity. The rhythmic beating they had heard earlier came from instruments made of strange materials, creating a mesmerizing melody. What should we do? Mia whispered, her voice filled with a mix of fear and excitement. We should approach carefully, Alex replied, trying to keep his own excitement in check. Remember, we're here to make contact. Taking a deep breath, Alex stepped forward, raising his hands in a gesture of peace. Hello, we come in peace, he called out, his voice clear and steady. The aliens paused, their heads tilting in unison, as if trying to understand. Alex's heart raced as he realized that they were about to embark on a journey of discovery that would change humanity's future forever. First contact. As Alex stepped forward, the air felt electric with anticipation. The alien beings stood before him, their curious eyes scanning the crew. Each one was tall and slender, with shimmering skin that reflected the colors of their surroundings. Their movements were fluid and graceful, as if they were part of the very fabric of the environment. Can they understand us? Mia whispered nervously, glancing at Alex. We won't know until we try, Alex replied, his heart pounding in his chest. He took another step closer, and the rest of the crew followed cautiously. The lead alien, distinguished by a unique pattern on its skin, moved forward to meet Alex. It tilted its head and extended a long, delicate arm, its fingers gently touching the strange instrument that hung around its neck. As it played a few soft notes, the melody blended with the sounds of nature, creating an enchanting atmosphere. Feeling a rush of hope, Alex reached into his pocket and pulled out a small device, a translator they had brought along for communication. We come in peace. We are explorers from Earth, he said, pointing to himself and then to his team. We wish to learn about your world. The alien tilted its head again, seemingly pondering his words. After a moment, it produced a series of melodic notes, its voice resonating with a harmony that echoed through the clearing. Alex's translator whirred to life, attempting to decipher the sounds. Welcome, travelers. We are the Xilarians. We have awaited your arrival. The translation stunned the crew into silence. The words were clear, the tone inviting. Alex's heart soared. This was it, the moment they had all hoped for. Thank you for welcoming us, Alex responded, his voice filled with warmth. We seek to understand your culture and share ours. The lead Xilarian gestured to the gathering around the large structure. The others responded with soft, harmonious notes, creating a beautiful chorus that filled the air. The rhythm seemed to pulse with life, resonating within the very ground beneath their feet. One of the crew members, Jamie, stepped forward, her eyes wide with wonder. What is this place? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. And what are you doing? The Xilarian leader replied through the translator. This is the heart of Xilara. Here, we celebrate the union of our people and the bond with the universe. It paused, looking at the fruits on the massive tree nearby. "We invite you to join our ceremony." Alex exchanged glances with his team, excitement bubbling within him. "We would be honored," he said, stepping aside to let the Xelarians lead them to the center of the gathering. As they approached the structure, the crew marveled at the craftsmanship. The building was composed of what seemed to be a living material, glowing softly in hues of blue and green. The walls were adorned with intricate carvings that depicted scenes of harmony between the Xelarians and the natural world. The aliens guided them to a place where they could observe the ceremony. Instruments filled the air with enchanting melodies, and the Xelarians danced gracefully, moving in harmony with the music. Each movement told a story, a celebration of life and unity. Mia watched in awe, her earlier fears melting away. "They're beautiful," she murmured. "Look at how they move." Alex nodded, captivated. He could see how deeply the Xelarians connected with their environment. It was a bond that humanity had often forgotten in its pursuit of progress. As the ceremony continued, the Xelarians turned their attention toward the crew, inviting them to join in. "You too are part of this moment," the leader said through the translator. "Share your dance with us." The crew hesitated, unsure of how to respond. But Alex, feeling the weight of the moment, stepped forward once more. "Let's show them a human dance," he called out, filled with enthusiasm. With a mix of laughter and excitement, the crew formed a circle. They began to dance, mimicking the rhythm of the Xelarians while incorporating their own style. Laughter filled the air as the Xelarians watched with curiosity, their expressions reflecting joy and interest. The two cultures blended in a beautiful display of unity, breaking down barriers and building bridges through movement and music. As they danced, Alex realized that this moment was more than just a celebration. It was the beginning of something much greater. After a while, the music slowed, and the Xelarians beckoned the crew to join them in a circle. They shared stories, exchanging experiences through gestures and sounds. The connection deepened as they communicated through laughter and expressions, a testament to the power of unity and diversity. As the ceremony came to an end, the Xelarians presented the crew with gifts, beautifully crafted objects that shimmered in the light. Alex accepted one, feeling the energy within it. It was a symbol of friendship and hope, a gesture that would solidify their bond. "Thank you for this wonderful experience," Alex said, his voice filled with gratitude. "We will cherish it." The Xelarians responded with a series of melodic notes, their voices blending into a harmonious farewell. "May our paths cross again, friends." With hearts full and minds buzzing with possibilities, the crew of the Voyager returned to their ship. The experience had changed them. They had stepped into the unknown, faced their fears, and discovered a new world filled with wonder and hope. New Alliance. After the magical ceremony with the Xelarians, the crew of the Voyager felt a renewed sense of purpose. The air was thick with excitement and possibility as they made their way back to the ship. Alex led the way, still clutching the shimmering gift from the Xelarians, which sparkled in the sunlight. As they boarded the ship, Maya turned to Alex with wide eyes. "Do you think they really want to form an alliance with us?" she asked, her voice filled with curiosity and hope. "I believe so," Alex replied, glancing at the alien artifact in his hand. "They've shown us their culture and invited us into their lives. This could be the beginning of something great for both our peoples." The crew gathered around the ship's central console, eager to discuss their next steps. "We need to learn more about them," Jamie suggested. "What do they want from us? How can we help?" Alex nodded thoughtfully. "We should focus on building trust. Let's prepare to invite them aboard and show them our technology and culture." Mia chimed in. "And we can share our stories too. Maybe they have knowledge that could help us." With a plan forming, the crew began preparing the ship for their new guests. They cleaned the common areas, set up displays of human achievements, and prepared a meal that showcased Earth's diverse cuisine. The excitement was palpable, and the crew buzzed with energy as they imagined what the Xelarians would think of human life. Later that afternoon, Alex stood on the deck, looking out at the lush landscape of Silara. The vibrant colors of the flora and the strange melodic sounds of wildlife filled his senses. He couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder at the possibilities that lay ahead. When the Xelarians arrived at the ship, their presence filled the air with a palpable sense of excitement. The lead alien, still adorned in its unique patterns, stepped forward, its luminous skin glinting in the sunlight. "Thank you for inviting us," it said, its voice resonating with a gentle harmony. "We come in peace, ready to share and learn." Alex smiled, his heart swelling with pride. "Welcome aboard the Voyager. We are excited to show you our world and learn about yours." He gestured for them to enter. As the Xelarians stepped inside, they marveled at the technology surrounding them. Their eyes widened at the screens displaying images of Earth and the stars. The crew watched in delight as the Xelarians pointed at the various devices, communicating in soft melodies that carried a tone of wonder. "Let me show you our navigation systems," Alex said, leading them to the command center. He explained how the ship traveled through space, pointing out the charts and maps that depicted their journey so far. The Xelarians listened intently, their expressions reflecting fascination. They shared their own knowledge, demonstrating their understanding of celestial mechanics through a mesmerizing display of lights that danced in the air, illustrating their approach to navigation. "Your technology is intriguing," the lead Xelarian remarked, its melodic voice filled with awe. "But our connection with the stars is more than machines. It is a dance, a harmony with the universe." Mia, fascinated by the idea, replied, "Can you show us? We would love to learn how you navigate through the stars." The Xelarians nodded, and soon they were in the common area, where the aliens began to teach the crew their ancient methods. They used movements and sounds to represent constellations and the rhythms of the cosmos. The crew found themselves caught up in the beauty of the alien tradition, laughter and joy filling the air. As the evening wore on, the humans prepared a meal, eager to introduce the Xelarians to their culinary traditions. They served dishes from different cultures on Earth, and the aliens approached the food with curiosity. "This is fascinating," one of the Xelarians said, delicately lifting a piece of roasted vegetable. "It holds many flavors, like a symphony of tastes." The crew watched as the Xelarians tasted the food, their expressions shifting from confusion to delight. They exchanged foods, creating a delightful fusion of human and Xelarian cuisine, each flavor telling a story of their respective worlds. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow across the ship, Alex gathered everyone together. "We've made incredible strides today," he said, his voice filled with enthusiasm. "This is just the beginning of our partnership. Together, we can explore new worlds, share knowledge, and protect each other." The Xelarians nodded, their melodic voices joining in agreement. "Together, we can weave a new tapestry in the fabric of the universe." With hearts filled with hope and determination, the crew of the Voyager and their new Xelarian allies looked forward to the journey ahead. They knew that through their friendship, they could face any challenge that lay ahead and create a brighter future for both their worlds. The threat emerges. As the sun rose over the lush landscapes of Silara, the crew of the Voyager awoke to the sound of harmonious melodies drifting through the air. The Xelarians had already begun their morning rituals, filling the surroundings with their unique blend of music and movement. The humans were inspired by the beauty of their new allies and felt a growing bond between the two species. After breakfast, Alex gathered the crew in the ship's command center. "Today, we continue our discussions with the Xelarians," he announced. "We need to solidify our alliance and explore how we can help each other." The Xelarians entered the command center, their luminous forms glowing softly in the light. The lead alien, still adorned in vibrant patterns, approached Alex. "We wish to learn more about your world and its challenges. We sense a disturbance in the universe, a threat that may come to both our peoples." Alex furrowed his brow. "A threat? What do you mean? The Accelarian pointed towards the star-filled screen displaying their shared star maps. There are dark shadows moving across the galaxy. They seek to consume and conquer. We must be vigilant. Jamie, the ship's communications officer, leaned forward, intrigued. What kind of threat are we talking about? Do you have any specific details? The lead Accelarian nodded, projecting images onto the screen. The crew gasped as they saw vast fleets of ships, dark and menacing, moving through space like a storm. This is the Draxian Armada, the Accelarian explained. They have destroyed countless worlds, leaving nothing but ashes in their wake. They will come for Earth and Xelara next. The room fell silent as the gravity of the situation sunk in. Alex exchanged worried glances with his crew. We need to prepare, he said finally. If they're targeting us, we must take action now. Mia, her eyes filled with determination, spoke up. We have to warn Earth. We can gather intelligence and prepare for a possible attack. Agreed, Alex said. But we also need to understand the Draxians' strengths and weaknesses. If we're going to stand a chance, we need every bit of information we can gather. With a newfound sense of urgency, the crew set to work. They divided into teams to gather data and devise a strategy. Maya and Jamie focused on communication, sending messages to Earth to alert their superiors about the impending danger. Meanwhile, Alex and the Accelarians collaborated on analyzing the enemy's movements and patterns. As the day wore on, the atmosphere aboard the Voyager became tense but focused. The crew worked diligently, combining their technologies and knowledge. The Accelarians shared their insights, using their unique understanding of cosmic energy to predict the Draxian Armada's next move. Using our energy readings, we can trace their fleet, one of the Accelarians suggested, its skin shimmering with enthusiasm. We will help you pinpoint their location. Together, we can form a defense. As the collaboration deepened, the crew began to forge new technologies, merging human innovation with Accelarian wisdom. They created simulations of potential battle strategies and designed defensive mechanisms for both Earth and Xelara. Suddenly, the communication console lit up. Jamie rushed over, her eyes wide with excitement. We've received a message from Earth. They've confirmed the Draxian threat and are mobilizing forces. Alex's heart raced. That's great news. We need to coordinate with them and make sure they understand the full extent of what we're facing. As the crew worked, the Accelarians displayed their own battle tactics, weaving elegant movements into their strategies. It was clear that they viewed warfare differently, more as a dance than a clash. The crew found themselves captivated by their grace and ingenuity. But just as the crew began to feel a sense of hope, the console beeped again, interrupting their preparations. Jamie's face fell as she read the incoming message. It's from Earth. They've detected Draxian ships approaching our location. Panic surged through the room. How much time do we have? Alex asked urgently. Less than an hour, Jamie replied, her fingers flying over the console as she gathered more information. They're moving fast, and their fleet is larger than we expected. Then we need to act now, Alex declared, his voice steadying the crew. We'll establish a defensive perimeter and prepare to confront them. We may not have much time, but we'll fight together. They nodded, their determination shining through. We will not let them take our worlds. Together, we will create a shield of harmony to protect our home. As the crew mobilized, they felt a renewed sense of unity, humans, and working side by side, sharing knowledge and skills to defend their homes. The challenge ahead was daunting, but the bond they had forged gave them strength. With their strategy set, they took their positions, ready to face the approaching threat. The crew stood shoulder to shoulder, looking out into the stars as the distant shadows of the fleet grew closer. The battle begins. As the stars flickered in the vast darkness of space, the tension aboard the Voyager was palpable. Alex stood at the helm, his heart racing. The crew had worked tirelessly to prepare for the inevitable confrontation with the Armada. The time had come, and the fate of two worlds rested on their shoulders. Status report. Alex commanded, his voice steady despite the nervous energy crackling through the air. Mia, stationed at the communication console, turned to him, her face illuminated by the flickering lights. "We've established contact with Earth's fleet. They're on their way, but they're still a few minutes out. We're on our own for now. Let's make those minutes count." Alex replied, turning to face the, "Are your weapons systems ready?" The lead nodded, its vibrant skin glowing brightly. "We are prepared. Our energy shields are active, and we can channel our cosmic energy into your weapons. Together, we will strike as one." The crew moved with purpose as they prepared for battle. Each member felt the weight of their responsibility, but they also felt the bond that had formed between humans, and it fueled their determination. Suddenly, the sensors pinged, indicating that the Draxian fleet had entered their range. Alex's pulse quickened as he leaned forward, his eyes scanning the tactical display. There it was, a dark wave of ships, vast and menacing, approaching rapidly. "They're here," Alex said, a chill running down his spine. "All hands, prepare for combat." The crew sprang into action, taking their positions. Maya monitored the incoming Draxian ships, while Jamie coordinated communication with Earth's fleet, ready to relay any updates. "Draxian vessels are deploying," Maya shouted, her voice rising above the din of activity. "They're launching fighters." Alex's heart sank. "Engage defensive measures. We need to protect our position." With a swift motion, the crew activated the ship's shields and weapons. A hum of energy filled the air as the Xelarians channeled their powers into the ship's systems, enhancing the defensive capabilities. The first wave of Draxian fighters swooped in, their sleek, dark forms contrasting sharply against the stars. The Voyager shuddered as the enemy ships opened fire, beams of energy slicing through the darkness. "Brace for impact," Alex shouted as he gripped the control panel. The ship rocked violently, but the shields held firm. "Return fire," he commanded, determination igniting in his chest. The crew unleashed a barrage of energy blasts, striking down several Draxian fighters. Cheers erupted in the command center, but Alex knew they couldn't celebrate just yet. More enemy ships were pouring in, and the battle was far from over. As the chaos unfolded outside, the Xelarians moved gracefully, channeling their energy into the ship's weapon systems. Their alien knowledge combined with human ingenuity created a formidable force. "Firing now," shouted Mia, her fingers dancing across the controls. Energy beams shot forth from the Voyager, illuminating the darkness as they struck the Draxian vessels with precision. But the Draxians were relentless. They began to regroup and strategize, forming a tight formation as they retaliated. More shots rained down on the Voyager, and Alex felt the ship shudder under the assault. "Status report," he yelled. "Shields at 70%. Jamie replied, her voice filled with urgency. "We can't take much more of this." "Then we need to turn the tide," Alex said, his mind racing. "Xelarians, can you amplify our firepower? We need to create a distraction and draw their attention away from us." The lead Xelarian nodded. "We will focus our energy. Prepare for a surge." As the Xelarians concentrated their cosmic power, a bright light began to fill the command center. The crew could feel the energy building, an electric charge in the air. "Now," Alex shouted, and the Xelarians released their energy in a brilliant display, a wave of light shooting toward the Draxian fleet. The Draxians hesitated for a moment, taken aback by the sudden surge of power. It was the perfect opportunity. Alex seized the moment. "Now, fire everything we have." The Voyager unleashed a torrent of energy blasts, overwhelming the Draxian formation. Ships exploded in brilliant flashes, lighting up the dark expanse of space. The crew cheered as they gained ground, but the Draxian fleet was vast, and they were only a fraction of their total strength. More enemy ships began to arrive, filling the tactical display with red alerts. "This isn't over," Maya said, her voice tense. "We need to find their command ship. If we can take it down, it might disrupt their entire fleet." Alex nodded, determination etched on his face. "Let's find it. Silurians, can you help us track their flagship?" "Yes," the lead Silurian responded, their skin shimmering with energy. "We will use our senses to locate it." With a renewed sense of purpose, the crew focused on locating the Draxian command ship. After a tense moment, the Silurians pointed to a massive vessel positioned behind the fighters, its dark hull dominating the battlefield. "There it is," Alex said, his heart pounding. "That's our target." "Let's move in," Janie said, her fingers flying over the controls as she plotted a course toward the command ship. As the Voyager maneuvered through the chaos of battle, the crew's hearts raced with adrenaline. The fate of both their worlds rested on their ability to defeat this formidable enemy. "Prepare to engage," Alex shouted, his voice resolute. "We're not just fighting for our survival. We're fighting for the future of humanity and Xilara." The crew's determination solidified as they locked onto their target. With the Exilarians by their side, they would face the Draxian threat head-on. The final stand. The battle raged around the Voyager, a cacophony of blaring alarms and booming explosions echoing through the ship. Alex stood firm at the helm, his eyes locked on the massive Draxian command ship looming ahead. This was it, the moment that could change everything. "Status report," Alex called out, his voice steady despite the chaos. "Shields are holding at 60%. Maya replied, her focus unwavering. "We're taking heavy fire, but we can't retreat now." "Good. Keep us moving," Alex ordered, determination igniting in his heart. They had to reach the Draxian flagship before it was too late. The crew worked in perfect harmony, human ingenuity blending seamlessly with the Exilarians' extraordinary abilities. As they maneuvered closer to their target, the Draxian fighters swarmed around them, determined to defend their command ship. "Deploy defensive countermeasures," Alex shouted. "We need to protect our flank." Mia quickly activated the ship's defensive systems. Bright flares shot out, distracting the Draxian fighters momentarily. It created an opening, and Alex seized the opportunity. "Now's our chance," he yelled, full speed ahead. The Voyager surged forward, dodging incoming fire as they closed the distance to the command ship. The crew felt the exhilaration of battle coursing through their veins, the stakes higher than ever. "Prepare to fire on my mark," Alex instructed, eyes fixed on the command ship. They could see the Draxian insignia glowing ominously on its hull, a reminder of the power it wielded. As they got within range, the lead Silurian raised its hand, channeling energy into the ship's weapons. "We are ready. Fire when you command." 3, 2, 1. "Fire," Alex shouted. The air erupted with energy as the Voyager unleashed a torrent of firepower directed at the Draxian command ship. Beams of energy shot forth, striking the massive vessel with incredible force. Explosions rocked the ship, and alarms blared throughout its hull. The Draxian command ship retaliated, firing back at the Voyager with deadly accuracy. The ship rocked violently as a beam struck their shields, but they held strong. The Exilarians focused their energy, amplifying the ship's defenses. "Shields at 50%. Mia shouted, urgency in her voice. "We need to take it down fast." The Draxians began to regroup, their massive flagship deploying more fighters to fend off the threat. But Alex had an idea. "Can we target their weapon systems? If we disable them, we can finish this." "Yes, I will help focus our energy on their weapons," the lead Silurian replied, determination radiating from it. "Let's do it," Alex said, his heart racing. "Aim for their weapon array." With the crew working in unison, they focused their firepower on the Draxian flagship's weapon systems. Energy beams flew through the air, striking the command ship again and again. Explosions erupted as they hit their mark, sending shockwaves through the surrounding fighters. Direct hit. Their left cannon is down, Jamie exclaimed, her voice filled with excitement. But the Draxians were relentless. They regrouped and began firing with renewed fury, trying to protect their command ship at all costs. The Voyager shuddered under the assault, the shields rapidly diminishing. Shields at 30%. Mia warned, panic rising in her voice. We need to finish this quickly. Push harder, Alex urged, his voice cutting through the chaos. Xilarians, concentrate your energy. Let's make this count. The Xilarians focused their powers, glowing brightly as they amplified the ship's weaponry. We will channel our energy into one final strike. Ready, everyone? Alex asked, adrenaline coursing through him. This is our moment. Ready, the crew shouted in unison, their resolve unwavering. Fire, Alex commanded. A massive wave of energy erupted from the Voyager, a brilliant beam of light surging toward the Draxian command ship. The energy struck with devastating force, breaking through the ship's defenses. The flagship shuddered violently, alarms blaring as explosions rocked its hull. Direct hit, it's taking heavy damage, Jamie shouted, her eyes wide with excitement. But the Draxians weren't done yet. In a desperate attempt to protect their flagship, they sent one last wave of fighters at the Voyager, determined to take them down. Brace for impact, Alex yelled, gripping the control panel as the ship rocked again. The Xilarians channeled their energy into the ship's shields, but they were still taking hits. The crew held their breaths, knowing they were close to victory, but also realizing how fragile their situation was. Shields at 10%, Mia warned, her voice shaking. We can't take much more. Hold steady, Alex commanded, his focus unwavering. We're not giving up now. Just as it seemed all hope might be lost, a fleet of ships appeared on the horizon. Alex's heart soared as he recognized the familiar markings of Earth's fleet. They've arrived, he shouted, relief flooding through him. We're not alone. The Earth fleet swooped in, joining the fight against the Draxians. With their combined strength, they launched a coordinated attack on the remaining Draxian fighters and the command ship. Now, we finish this, Alex yelled, rallying his crew. Let's take them down together. With renewed determination, the Voyager and Earth's fleet pressed the attack. The Draxian flagship, already heavily damaged, began to falter under the relentless assault. Explosions lit up the darkness of space, and the tide of battle shifted dramatically. Target their engines, Alex commanded. Let's cripple them for good. As the crew focused their fire on the command ship's engines, the Draxians made one final desperate attempt to defend themselves. But it was too late. With a resounding explosion, the flagship erupted in a blinding light, its destruction echoing through the void. Cheers erupted from the crew of the Voyager and the Earth fleet. They had done it. They had defeated the Draxian command ship. The remaining fighters scattered, realizing the battle was lost. Victory, Mia shouted, her voice filled with triumph. Alex took a deep breath, the adrenaline still coursing through him. We did it, everyone. We stood together, humans and Xilarians, and we fought for our future. As the remnants of the Draxian fleet fled into the darkness, Alex felt a sense of pride swell within him. They had faced insurmountable odds, but they had emerged victorious. Together, they had proven that unity and courage could overcome even the most formidable enemies. With the battle won, the crew of the Voyager looked to the stars, knowing that their journey was far from over. They had forged a bond that would carry them into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. And as they prepared for the next chapter in their adventure, they knew one thing for sure. Humanity was ready to take its place in the universe, and they would face it together as one.